All right, there are we.
There are we. A little tiny picture.
All right. Howdy, folks. It looks like we have tech that has promoted us. Molly, are you that other user, or who's the other user that we see logged on right now? There should be plenty of volume.
Yeah, it should be plenty of volume.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll get started.
As long as we.
Unless anyone online wants to chime in. We didn't hear anyone if they tried to chime in, so you might try our chat box. Oh, I see a mute on the computer. Over there is on the mute, so I don't know if that'll matter or not, but I will change this setting.
Get you some roller skates.
All right, here we go.
Well, you,
Oh. Probably still not.
not again. Okay, I hope the TV is not on mute or something like that.
No, so now the computer is unmuted and our television is unmuted. And this looks like it's okay. So everything I know seems to be on.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, anyone online is muted, so feel free. Oh, here we go. Hey, Molly, we just saw you sign online, it appears.
Yeah, I was on and then I lost connectivity, but now I'm back.
Okay, and we can hear you. So I think everything is up and running now. We might have to look into our user for next week. We were able to use the facilities individual Joshua across the hall helped us out for tonight. And so we're logged in under his credentials. So we have not done anything official yet, not that we have much tonight, but I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. So we are now on the record. I do know that, was it today or yesterday, the minutes were emailed out.
Yeah. yes.
And so I guess we should do a roll call first, eh? So I'm Eric, I'm here. Who's all here? Let's go ahead and announce it for the folks on Zoom.
I'm Doris Carlett. I'm here. I'm Susan Gray and I'm here.
Byron Banger present.
Terrific, and that is all we have here tonight.
And
And then-
Molly on Zoom.
You got it. Molly's our staff attorney on Zoom. So anyone have an opportunity to look at those minutes? And if so, do we have any sort of motion pertinent to the minutes tonight?
I move they be accepted as read.
And I will support the motion.
It's been moved and seconded for our past minutes to go ahead and be accepted. All in favor? Any opposition tonight? Seeing none, our minutes are now part of our record. So thank you very much for putting those minutes together per usual. Other items, I'll go ahead and defer to see if Molly, do you have any updates on possible commission merger? We're just trying to figure out, do we need to work? Or what our situation
I
might be.
do. So we have drafted an interlocal with the city. We have drafted an ordinance, and I'm happy to circulate those drafts to you, but they are very much and very far from being a finalized draft. We were even looking at them this morning and making edits. So I don't know if you want to see a draft this early in the stage since it's continually changing, or if you would want to see a more finalized draft and kind of
I see one head nod for wait a bit. Anyone want to see the current draft language? It looks.
You're all right with me.
Yeah, so I mean, we won't mind it. Feel free to send it. It looks like some of us might peek, others not so much, but we will certainly keep in mind that it is in draft form only. But it does sound like then, Molly, it appears likely that you'll be able to come. There's no big sticking points that you've hit with the city. It seems like you just need to finesse it, or are there potential obstacles in the way you're anticipating?
We're still working through the details. Part of the interlocal calls for the creation of a new city position and a restructure of how the city is doing the HRC. So I think they're working through those details. But as far as the county side, county council has budgeted for a merger, and we think our end of details is pretty clear. We're just waiting for information from the city, really.
Okay, Sounds good. Then on our end, we will not try to do any recruiting at this point, as it seems like it would not be wise. So just keep us
I mean,
posted.
that's one of the things that like I said, we were even looking at making changes this morning. And the change that we were looking at was, if we merge, what's the number of commissioners look like? How many of those are from the city? How many of those are from the county? So that's, one of the things I know we were changing or considering changing this morning. And so the draft that I can send you does not reflect our conversation this morning, which would increase the number from what's in the draft. And the reason we haven't changed that number in the draft yet is because it's still very much early in conversations with the city about, what's our numbers look like.
Okay, that is good to know.
Then.
I will tell you right now in the draft, it does have 2 county commissioners on the board. But like I said, this morning we were discussing increasing that number.
Sure. All right, that is something for us to know at least. So good starting point. And I suppose, is what it is. What is the total, out of curiosity? How many would the city maintain? Would their numbers go down at all from their current composition?
It would be 5 from the city, 2 from the county, but we are, like I said, looking at that division and seeing where we end up.
Okay, good to know. Anyone else have comments on that as they continue to work on this?
I mean, I talked very briefly to Lee Jones at the last Community Justice Response Committee meeting, and told her that if they decrease this count to 2, I thought we were losing a lot of institutional memory.
Sure.
And her comment was, yeah, but people turn over all the time on commissions. So
I hear it. We've had quite a bit of stability, I'd say, for
Yeah.
some of our numbers
but
here.
anyway, so it didn't sound like I was making any progress
Okay.
with her.
Well,
But
thank
maybe
you for doing that.
Yeah. I mean, one thing about a commission like this, I do think most commissioners who would serve on a human rights commission are going to try real hard to represent kind of everyone. But I do think it's important to have some rural voice and kind of county considerations there. But I admit I have less concern than, let's say, if this was a zoning or some sort of joint commission of
yeah.
the county kind of city representation. Putting that spot with, are y'all? Good to go there.
I've got it, but I'm not using it.
Right, I know. So other items, unless there is further comment there. Do we have any more meetings or new meetings of the criminal justice group before we talk about maybe that jail tour? Yeah,
I wrote up the 2 from October. There's like the 7th of November is upcoming. That's the next one.
okay,
So, and I asked Molly to send out all the ones, so where they all went to, but anyway, they're there someplace. I
Okay.
have them on my computer. If anybody's missing them, I'll be glad to send them again. Yeah, the only thing I wanted to have it here. So there was a meeting on the 17th of October and one on the 10th of October. There was a complaint, right?
Yes.
We heard some from Molly that there was a complaint. I just wondered,
Can I go back to the CJRC real quick before we go to the complaint?
yeah, go ahead, jump in.
I wanted to say, I know CJRC members have been informed, and I sent you an email, unfortunately, like a few hours ago. But the county will have county representatives at the site in Fullerton Pike where the proposed new jail would go. And they're inviting individuals or people of interest, which I think the HRC would be, to tour the site. And so the site is, you can go out today or tomorrow between 4 and 5. We've arranged parking in the Monroe County hospital parking lot, and then a shuttle will pick anyone up from the hospital parking lot and take them to the Fullerton Pike site. There is a mode area. I would recommend you stay in the mode area because we previously had a pretty big tick problem out there since it was a, field in essence. if you guys want to go but cannot go tomorrow, then we can arrange a time for the HRC to go visit the site.
Between 4 and 5, so to be.
It is 4 to 5 tomorrow.
Good idea to be there by 4.
And
I know that the person who's doing the shuttle heads that way at 3:30, so I'm sure he's there by 4.
Yeah, I guess I was curious today if the shuttle would go back and forth, or I wanted to make sure I made the meeting, and I didn't know if I got there.
Yeah. I think I included in your email or on the email that I sent you, the person's name who's doing the shuttle. His name is Richard Kreider and he's our fleet manager. He's pretty much going back and forth. So if I don't think there's like a set meeting time for anyone that wants to go, as long as you're in between the 4 and 5 window, you can call him, he'll pick you up, and then he'll take you back to the hospital when you're done looking at the site.
so the new hospital or the old hospital? The old hospital.
Monroe.
No, not IU Health Hospital. It's Monroe out on Fullerton Pike.
Yeah, because it's closer to the site there.
Yes. it's
Yeah.
very-
Yeah, Fullerton Pike. So the site is on one side of, it's on the opposite side of the roundabout from Monroe Hospital. So you would park in the Monroe Hospital and then Richard would pick you up and take you to the other side of the roundabout.
So I am unable to do the teaching tomorrow, but I'm curious if any of you all are able and interested. It'd be nice for a couple of us maybe to be out there.
I'm gonna be out of town.
if
And like
not-
I said, if you, I mean, you could even, if you wanted to go as a group, you could go out there in place of one of your meetings. We can arrange that.
I can go tomorrow. I'm not busy tomorrow afternoon. Well, I mean, there's nothing I can't put off.
And I could possibly be there. I don't know at this point for sure.
Sure. Well, I'm fine going out as a group for meeting, or if you want to see if this moves forward for sure, and then maybe if there's a little more development out there. Right now, it's like no building, nothing's really been touched yet. Is that correct?
Yep,
Molly?
right now it's a big open field.
So I'm fine. It's interesting to go out there just to see the site, the location and such, but I don't know if I need a formal tour or whatnot. I could always just drive by at this point in time. But do you all want to go ahead and slate a meeting for that, or do you want to wait a little while and kind of see how things develop?
Until something changes, I think we could probably all just look at it.
Yeah, yeah. So it looks like a couple of us might be able to check that out tomorrow, and we will keep you posted as to if we want to arrange a future kind of group outing.
Okay.
Okey doke. Also on kind of the criminal justice
One
front.
last note on one last note on CJRC. We intend to send out an RFQ or request for qualifications here pretty soon, I would say in the next 60 to 90 days. Request individuals who design jails will respond to the request, and what we're asking them to do, and they've discussed this in the CJRC, would be create a model of the kind of facility they would design or build. And then the models will be taken to CJRC, and I think they're going to open it to CJRC members and members of the public to come in and look at these models. And so I will be sure that you guys get notice of whenever that happens. It's going to be pretty far off right now, but just to keep you guys up to date, we are going to be requesting that any person responding to the RFQ be able to give us a model design.
Perfect. And then would there be a subsequent RFP that's more detailed, or what would be the process after that?
I'm not sure on that, if we would do an RFP or where we would go from there.
Okay, well, yeah, we'd be interested in whatever comes in, so we appreciate that info. As I had noted at one point, we had a former professor and kind of community advocate who wanted to come speak with us today. She reached out to me this afternoon and informed me she would be unable until our next meeting. And it seems like her kind of advocacy has gained some steam perhaps, and is now at least being presented as a coalition called Care Not Cages. And so I'll keep folks apprised, and she might want to join us as a member of the public and kind of express her thoughts and work in here in a future meeting. So stay tuned, but she will not be with us tonight. On that note, just because I'm thinking of agenda, I was a little late on the agenda that I sent in to Dina today, but the last couple times I sent an agenda in, and I have not seen one posted on it. Have I just been walking by one? And Molly, I thought one is supposed to maybe be posted, not that we have.
Nope, I haven't seen an agenda posted. The open door law does not require the use of an agenda. It just says that if you use an agenda, it should be posted.
Sure, so I have been sending one in to Dina that then she posts online.
I was
So
gonna
does that,
say,
the posting, she puts it on the website?
I saw today's posted on the website. We asked that it be posted at the place of the meeting, so I will check with Dina for your next meeting to make sure we're complying with open door.
So I give her a couple days. Today I just had delays, so no worries on today's. But that might help us to just, I don't know what's going on with that. All right, speaking of which, let me see what the other item I have was. We might have covered them all.
I think there was about to be a question about the complaint.
Yeah, that's it. You got it. We were just wondering what has happened, who's been assigned, volunteered, anything. I know
So I got 2 responses to the email. Kathy said she was unable to, and then Susan said that she would be able to, but has done one in the past. So I just wanted to make sure no one, if Susan wants to do it, we're good to go, or if someone else wants to.
I think we all have done one at this point, right?
Yeah.
At some point in time. So I am fine with Susan's interest, if others are.
Sounds good.
Yep, looks
Okay.
like you got a volunteer.
All right, and for this particular complaint, I have a conflict of interest and I cannot be involved in the investigation. So Jeff Cockrell from County Legal is going to work with Susan on the investigation part. What I do know is that a copy of the complaint was sent to the respondent to trigger the time frame for an answer to be filed.
Okay, good to know. Can you remind us of what that time frame is?
It's 20 days from the receipt of service. So it's sent certified, and then he has 20 days from the day he gets it.
All right, well, I know complaints aren't great, but I kind of like receiving complaints just because that means people know we exist and they know there's a process. And so regardless of the way it goes, it's nice to know, so someone's reaching out, and too bad there's a concern, but at least there's a process to deal with it. All right, I see no members of the public. What other general remarks might we have tonight from anyone here? Otherwise, we'll keep forging forward. We'll see what happens with the merger heading and I guess, Molly, on that merger, to backtrack for a second, would the goal for that to be effective at the beginning of the calendar year, or what sort of timing might take place with that?
I think that's what we're working to. I just don't know how attainable that is at the current time. So I think the goal would be to merge at the beginning of the year, because that makes it easier for setting, dates for meetings, for funding, etc. I just don't know if we've established that timeline is achievable.
Yeah. And speaking of meetings, as a reminder to folks, we do not have a November meeting, is my understanding. We have one December 7th, it looks like, which is early December. That would be our combined November-December meeting. When looking online, it is listed as virtual only. Is that something we decided?
I don't think so.
I think from last year.
Yeah, I'll interject real quick. You can't do a virtual only meeting because the emergency order was lifted, and you could only do virtual only when we were operating under the COVID emergency meeting. So for a meeting, you'd have to have an in-person forum.
Okay, and do you want me to reach out to Dina, or would you like to, just because the website right now says virtual, which might just be a little misleading for folks?
Yeah, I can, I'll see Dina tomorrow, so I can ask her to remove that part. She might, just verify it with you.
Sure, no worries. And on that same note, I did see still online a December 27th, but I believe the December 7th, our intention and our past agreement was to replace both the standard November and December standing meetings.
Yeah.
So December 7th is my understanding, and what we'll go for, it will be our standard format with hopefully most of us in person able to attend. And I should be there, I believe, for December 7th. So
And there was no November meeting. They took, that one was taken off.
Correct.
It was just.
because it would have been late November, like Thanksgiving
Right.
time, and so
Right,
we kind of
that's, I
split
know
the
why
difference.
we did it. I'm just making sure that there isn't another one.
No, that was
for late
removed. So, yeah,
November.
no,
So
that-
That one's gone. It's
Correct.
just the December one that didn't get gone.
You got
Okay.
it. Yes, yes, that is correct. So it is appropriately listed online that the next meeting is December 7th. We just need to make sure that it says the standard formatting. So that's what's next. I think that's all I got.
All right.
All right, we'll close. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, I move we adjourn.
Been moved
Second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I see no opposition. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.